Welcome back, everybody. I am your humble host, Sean Caron, and you are tuned into the Awakening Liberty Show here on the Freedomizer.com network. And yes, we busting apple funky little groove that we put together, and hope you like that. That's one of my new break intro returns. So anyway, we are going to go down the rabbit hole a little bit tonight. We're actually going to see what the truth movement across the pond. We've got Jaba, an international recording artist, and he is a truth activist. He's been in the scene since 1999 singing about the Illuminati, and I want to welcome Jaba to the show. Are you there with us?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Jaba. How are you?
I'm perfect. How are you? Healthy
I'm excellent.
Day.
I'm very happy to have you. Oh yes, most definitely. And my birthday as well. Boy, my Facebook page and my Sue page were just bombarded today. So I'm 47 years young. I tell you, Jaba, it's great to have you on the show. I've got some of your clips some queued up. We're going to showcase a little bit about that tonight. And then before we get into talking about what's going on in the world and the tyranny and the craziness that we all see, I want to talk to you a little bit about music and let my listeners know who you are, and why movement, what woke you up, what was really going on in the world.
Well, I have to say that I'm not really part of any movement group or anything like that. I grew up in a so-called a Steiner school, that is pure Rosicrucian indoctrination. But I had the ability to be very close to nature my whole life. So I never was really into the system. Like until my age of 10, I was never really confronted to that whole system. I was with the animals, with a lot of different people, because I lived in a schools with different people from all over Switzerland, Germany, France, Italy, and so on. So with 10, when first time I came to the city, I was like, what the hell is this? And the second question was, why do all these people think that this is real? So that was like my questioning since my age of 10. That is now more than 30 years ago. So and I knew from the beginning everything was completely fake, because I was not really. I had no TV. I don't really had like music or newspaper, or I was really not confronted with all that. And I struggle a lot with it. So for me, it was like it was to find out, to explain why it was like that, and that was a quest over 30 years to really get the head around about everything what was going on the earth. And if I say everything, I really look into law. Law was a huge awakening. I was looking, like you said, I read the bloodline of Illuminati already in 99, and we was in the studio, so we was already singing about Illuminati. We was really scared when we were singing about. We thought like the guys would just show up any moment. And
I can relate to that.
And then but yeah, it was completely silly in that way. If I realize today, I mean, that fear about it, the Illuminati and so on is very fear based. But we will talk about that later. And I was I was a promoter of the New World Order over a long time. I also will explain that later, why that happened. And I ended up to be a musician, because that was like the thing I saw where I could put my thoughts without being too confronted with too much, let's say, traumatized people who did not see any issue in the whole system or anything. They didn't question anything. So I was like, I was confronted with like a wall of ignorance complete. So it was, I went into the system. I became like kind of a superstar. I traveled in 40 countries. I made a song with the DJ. After 15 years of a reggae band, I had a song with the DJ that went world hit and ~1 in around 10 countries. So I was traveling all around, like Dubai, New York, Sao Paulo, Portugal, Switzerland, Middle East. I was even in Lebanon. I was in Egypt. I was, yeah, a little bit all over the place. It was very interesting also to see like where the system get implanted, and also to see that all over the earth, the people, the simple people, are really nice, and you have the greedy people are all over the place where you have big business. That is what is going on.
Yeah, it sounds to me, you really sparked my interest by what you were just talking about there. I too, Jaba, am a musician, and I struggled. I never got to your level of in the music industry. However, I was surrounded by some very strange things. I compete in Los Angeles and Central California playing music, and I had friends who got involved in the music industry, and I watched them go from very, very good people to very, very strange people. And it seems to me what I saw within the industry was the Illuminati had complete control over it, and I didn't realize this till later. So you really sparked my interest there in talking about what you actually, how you came to believe that you were actually promoting the New World Order. Did that have something to do with being in the music industry?
I'm sorry, my dogs are barking. Yeah.
No, that's okay. I have dogs.
What I observed from the beginning, I saw there was a huge issue in the whole music business, right? In the industry business, everything what is show, what is acting, what is everything like that is all the same. Hollywood and everything. It is, if you want to be an actor, or an artist, let's say an artist, so a simple musician, the people are not really interested in music anymore. And I explained that from, maybe you remember the song was Video Killed the Radio Star.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was like what it really says. As soon as the image came into the place, the art disappeared. And this is like in all art that happened the same way. So as artists, you have to sell yourself. You have to promote yourself. But nobody is really more interesting than anybody else. So you have to invent like a persona. It's the same like in the system. You have to become someone, right? So
a straw man.
You have to be special, but you don't have to disturb. So that is the range you can get to become an artist. So you already create a persona that is not really yourself. So it's already the first lie. The second lie is you adapt your art to this persona, or you created a persona and you create your art after this persona. The second lie. The third lie is that the people who see you think they see you, but they see a created, invented character for the artist to promote. So the people, what they perceive is not what the artist really is, because he cannot say what he thinks, because he is in interviews. If he say too much, he will never get the interview again. It's as simple as that. And in the end, the people they come to your show, they buy your CDs, and they think that they support you. But you never tell them that you get like 50 cents for a CD, and you may be paid to come to play to the show. That is the final lie. So in the whole thing, everything is based on a lie, on illusion, on someone is more special than someone else. And this is the image power is so powerful that the people really think they know what they see on TV, on YouTube, on whatever, and for them you are this persona, and you can't get out of this persona, and that is a trap you have from the beginning until the end. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you are known or if you are not known, if you're good or if you're not good. When I start playing music 20 years ago, they say you need 5% of talent. So what is the 95 rest? You need to be a good actor, you need to be a top model, you need everything else, but you need 5%. That was 20 years ago. So how much do you think you need today to really talent to get there?
I don't think much, because the stuff that I see in the music industry and even Hollywood, again, obviously you've got the look, if you've got the body, if they got that sexy persona, you're exploding there. And it seems like most things aren't even writing material. In fact, I know that to be the case because I have friends who've been successful in the industry. Now, write your own songs, correct?
Yeah, definitely. Most of them, they are just the actor. They don't write songs. They don't write melodies. They are not artists. They are the actors to play the good stuff. That's why I was never really a singer. I was singer by accident because I was drumming. I was in the Caribbean, in Trinidad. I was playing steel drum when I started to play steel drum when I was age of 10. And more percussion then. So for me, percussion and drum, that was my instrument. But we didn't have a singer, so I became the singer, and I had to leave the drum to a drummer and be the front man, something that I never really want to do. But I was there finally, and I play the role, and I had 16 people on the road. My band was 10 musicians on stage and 6 people behind, and I could not go out of this persona, because I knew if in interviews or so on I would say stuff that would not be correct, what you can say in interviews, I knew that I would have maybe less shows or no interviews no more, and so on. This pressure, but you never say it. So you don't really talk about your real struggle you have about an artist, so the people really could support you, because you are creating the image, the false image of your character, and if you are not in this character anymore, everything breaks down. It's like a card castle, so you can't take one card out under it, if not the whole castle break down. And that is really so based on illusion that finally you spend more time to play your character, to feed your character, to promote your character and everything else, than really playing music. When I was really on top, and I had like my 10 grand per month. I traveled all around. I was like making 1.5 hour music in a week when I had a shop. That was the music I made when I was professional musician. And now I make way more music since I stopped the whole business. So now I have my little studio, I have my instruments, I play different instruments, so I record my stuff. And I build up a new band now, but it's completely out of no copyright. I don't want any sale no more. I make completely free share, and the ones who want to support, they can support me anytime.
It sounds to me like you've freedom with music business, because the music business is definitely about freedom. And for people who aren't musicians, who don't understand what's going on in the music industry, what I'm saying is exactly that. Once you become if you are to the music, to the corporate music industry, to the record company, you do what you were told, and you write what you were told, and you play when you were told, you actually become a slave within music, and being there is so correct about being able to ever feel like couldn't really sing about the things pressing you in the heart, the things that were you most about what was going on. Is that what you're saying?
Well, for myself, from the beginning, the only thing I didn't change is what I was saying in my lyrics. For me, that was like the only thing I really kept, because I'm living in Switzerland. They speak Swiss German, they speak French, they speak Italian, but not really English. And I made my experience with Bob Marley when I was, since age of 10 and 16, I was just listening to Bob Marley, but I didn't understand one word of English. And with 16, when I get like the translation of the lyrics, I knew everything what he was singing about. That was a huge surprise for me, because I didn't knew English, but I knew exactly, I get the intention what he was singing about without getting the words. And for me, when I realized that, I knew that I could sing in any language. I could, even my English was so bad in the beginning. I was writing my lyrics. I didn't care whatsoever, because I knew it is the intention that you transmit. That is, maybe you hear about what they call The Secret.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they call it the book and so on. And The Secret is where the intention goes, the energy flows. So if you have a dream about something, you will get it. You can dream about a Ferrari if you want. You will get it. But the consequences you will also get with it. Always. So if you wish anything, you will get it. If you put enough intention in something, you will get it, but you will get the consequences with it. And most of the wishes people have are egocentric and selfish thoughts. So you will get anything what you want, but you will also get the whole harm that is created with that idea. You will get it with you. And that happened that is in life. That is a general, pure, natural law, if we will. The consequences we always face. So yeah, it's definitely about if someone wants to get known with his music or with his art or anything, you will become known. For me, I make a funny observation in my childhood, when I was dreaming about what I want to do, about singing in the world, traveling around singing. That was like, my dream was to play music all over the earth, right? With my band and making music all over the earth. But I had two dreams. I had one, to create a band, a huge band with 10, like what I had, like 10 musicians playing in front of thousands of people. And the second dream was that I was playing in front of thousands of people all over the earth. But these dreams was not joined together. I never dreamed or imagined or perceived that we would travel with 16 people. And not having that dream, that was like, I had my band, was very well known here in Switzerland and in Europe, but not abroad. And I could not bring the band abroad because it was too huge, and we didn't was enough commercial in this way. We didn't make video clips. I never want to make video clips. I have a lot of live videos online. If someone want to check out this Moonrises, it's also on YouTube, a couple of videos. And but they are pure live videos. I only want to show like the real thing. And in the end, I saw like the pressure I became to make video clips. And I was like, guys, I mean, this is to make a video clip that would fit to our music. And it's not to say that I was like the most famous musician, but just to say, the most of the people, they make video clips that do not fit to their music because the budget is not here to create like what you wish to show with your music. So you make like cheap video clips, and what the people see, they will always think about the video clip you show them. You can put any picture on your music, the people will remember this picture. I remember when I was listening to music, Supertramp or Pink Floyd or I don't know what, when I was listening to the music, I only had the cover picture in mind. You remember that?
Oh, I do remember.
It's funny, but because you had nothing, you maybe had some picture inside of the vinyl, you had some picture of the studio and so on. So you try to create like that whole imagination of it. And today, this picture, this image power is way more powerful. I also choose today to play the drum and sing on stage. That is very disturbing for a lot of people, because
I think it's really cool.
Yeah, but a lot of people, they are very, they don't know who to look at. They suddenly see that there is like 9 other people on stage. That was not the case before. Before, after a show, even there was 16 people around to make the show happen. They came to me and they told me I'm the best. But it's not true, because myself, I could not make this whole show alone. But the people don't see that. And do you really want to tell that to each one that is coming to you? And in the end, I had to stop that, because I felt I created more illusion than truth that I want to bring on through my music. So I played too much like that image power on the people, so I became like the superstar. And the people, the idol is also like the little doll you want to have. It's like the voodoo doll, you know.
Yeah.
So that is all. Like the people, they really like yesterday I had a discussion. Someone came to me after the show I made with my new band, and because the people here, they speak French, they don't really understand English. And the guy really came to me, hey, I don't want to disturb, but why do you sing in English and not in French? And I was like, because I like to sing in English. It sounds much better than Swiss German. Swiss German, nobody understands in the whole fucking world. So I choose to, even if I'm not good in English, if I'm very bad in grammar and so on. So it didn't matter. It sounds much better. It's reggae, and you can export it. So why not in English? So that was my artistic choice of doing it. But the guy really thought, yeah, but you have to. Why do I have to sing in French? Because the guy don't understand English. And that is like, I'm quite known in the area, and people really impersonate me. You know, they think they know me. Like also a girl came to me, like was criticizing the same thing and told me, but we love you. And I was like, but I think you don't know me. Because if you really would know me, I'm not sure that you would say that. Because a lot of people, if they really make face on reality, they are not really happy about it. So and I don't really care, because I'm just going where the truth takes me. You was talking about in the beginning of the show, you were saying it's very difficult to know or to discern the lies from truth. And I think that is the main issue in general, that we don't really know anymore what is real and what is not real. And that is system trauma and system deception conditioning, how I call it. This is pure trauma-based mind control. Every deception, every little deception from our parents, teacher, TV, and every lie we go through, we have a trauma. And we react to this trauma. We are not in conscious action, but we are in subconscious reaction. That makes that we don't really think thoughts, our own unique thoughts. we think copy-pasted thoughts. We are educated. Education means training of animal by etymology. So they really want to train us. If you want to learn something, you have to experience it. We don't have to explain to a child or to read a book or make a theory about a tree. We just have to bring the child to the tree, and he can experience the tree. This is reality, and this is learning. And a lot of people, they confuse intelligence with intellect. Intellect is accumulating of information. Information is to form our mind. It's not something that we really learn. We cannot transmit knowledge. It's impossible. We can transmit beliefs. That goes like that. Someone can give us an idea about something, but we really know it when we make the direct experience with it. It's the same with the tree. Anyone can visit a tree that is outside here of the house. You don't have to believe me that there is a tree outside. He can come here and witness himself the tree that is standing in front of my house. This is sense, how I call it, or I call it. This is how we can call it. We have a direct experience. We can touch it, we can see it, we can smell it. But we cannot make experience with something that we never had the possibility to experience directly. So we only can believe it. And we have to discern these different things between things we really had experience with it, and everybody can have experience with it, and things that we think we experience. And this is pure trauma-based mind control. That starts with the Tooth Fairy, with Jesus on
Santa Claus,
Christmas, and all the stories. And grammar. I started a series from 1 to 10, like what the basic mind control is. And number 1 mind control is imagination. Already, image and picture is not the same thing. An image, of the etymology, is a mind construct of an idea. It doesn't exist. An image doesn't exist. It is made up. It's the same. Maybe if we talk about the earth or the world and all these pictures, or the universe and all these planets and all that stuff, it's exactly the same. We never had a direct experience with any of it. We can see the sun from here, we can see something that is called moon, and we can see some lights in the sky. If we want to see it closer, we need a representation of it. And if something needs representation, it can't be present. This is a very important part, because I learned that in law. If someone comes to you and say, you killed someone, now you have to prove that you didn't. How could you? Someone make a claim, he needs to bring the proof. And how he can bring the proof? He needs to bring a witness, or he needs to bring the proof into the present. That means he needs to bring the dead corpse, or he needs to bring a really good witness to make his claim true. But if he make you believe that you really did it, or he make believe everyone else, and he is enough strong to make believe anyone else that you killed really someone, how you would be able to prove something that happened in the past? It's impossible. It is impossible. So the proofs goes on the side of the ones who make the claim. And the proof can only be in the present. It cannot be tomorrow. It cannot be in the past. And is not allowed to use any representation. Not on paper, not on a screen, and not someone who says something. It's not a proof of fact. Never. If you destroy something, he can bring something what you destroy. someone is dead, he can bring the dead body, anything like that, but the proof have to be in the present time, without representation. And that is real proof. Anything else is a representation, and you have to believe in the representation. That means you have to trust in the one who show you the representation of something. That's the same, anything that is written in a book. This is same, anything that on a screen, not a video, not a picture, not something written, is proof of fact. Because we cannot talk to the picture. We cannot talk to what is written on a paper. The paper is dead. Hello, paper, can you answer me, please? Hello? No, it cannot answer. It's for anything, it is like that. And that goes, when I realize in law what is really going on, I realize that cancer is not an illness. Cancer is the treatment that the people accept to get if they have tumors. But tumor is not a cancer. And cancer is the goddess of violent death in the Greek mythology, of a violent death, and was used in the Middle Age to someone who was, if you're sure he was dying in the next 2 days, like then you said he have cancer, means he was, for sure he was dead. But cancer is a patent word that they use to attach to tumors, but they are tumors, they stay tumors. When I was a child, we was talking about tumors, we was not talking about cancer. Cancer came when I was like 10, 15 or 20, and suddenly everybody had cancer. And the tumors was like, yeah. And the people have to know that if they have cancer, if they accept to have cancer, they have to sign their nature to the paper, to accept the contract, the license to use cancer to cure. And cure means to maintain, don't means to eradicate. A cure is to maintain. That is also like in the law, is etymology. Cure means to maintain something. So if they cure cancer, that means that you will use it, they will maintain you on life as long as they can, but they will feed you with as much chemical they can. This is the same for the marijuana. Yeah.
That's fascinating what you're talking about there, as far as the etymology of words and whatnot, because you're talking about mind control, and in English language, obviously, most people know what government is. Derived from the Latin verb governmentis, which means mind control. That's what government is. That's what the indoctrination is. That's even what you're talking about within the pharmacological industry and the cancer industry, medical industry. Seems to me they are only that which makes us sick. They are medicating that which is destroying. What you're saying?
It is not only this. It is the whole idea that you accept to have cancer. That is a violent death. That means you accept already that you have an illness that you cannot cure naturally. That means you have something that is part of you, and that is false. A tumor, there are toxins in the body that are rejected from the body. And if you continue to have the same life, if you don't change to how you eat, how you drink, if you are stressed out, if anything, will make that the cancer keep on, the tumor keep on. But cancer is not there to heal you. It's there to maintain the tumor in a state that it keeps you alive. That's all what it means to have cancer. But why don't we know exactly this terminology or the etymology of the words? Is because grammar means, the etymology of grammar is occult knowledge, is hidden knowledge.
Yes, it is.
And grammar comes from grimoire in French and means calling the demons. Maybe you know the storybooks, the storybooks for the kids, the Brother Grimm.
Mm-hmm.
You never hear that? It's more European style. But
yes, I have.
Grimm is the same. It's the same like grimoire, like grammar, and it's all occult stuff. So we have to learn how to write and read, but we don't know exactly what the word means. And the written language is pure occult. Ritual is pure satanic stuff. And the thing is, because it is reversed, they teach us a meaning, and we trust. We trust our parents, we trust our teachers, we trust the professors and the whole guys who tell us where this word means that, this word means that. But it's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. Every word we was learning to write and read have completely opposite meaning. That we are talking, we are lying constantly. We are learning to lie also to our kids. If we punish our kids, we teach them to lie. We teach them to hide something from us. They will not change it because they don't understand it. Why would you, if you punish them instead to explain them why it is wrong and what the consequences of it is, they will never learn it. They will hide it from you as good they can because they don't want to get punished again. That's all. And that is how we learn to.
Deception is easy. The deception that we're receiving from parents, from our grandparents, from the government, from the mainstream media, all of this seems to be a bunch of crap. Being driven, I believe, by the satanic matrix, and fascinating conversation here. So I'm going to take a break. I got a quick break here. So everybody, stay tuned. We're going to Jaba some more about this deception that we are seeing in our world. So hang. Well, that was Jaba, and that is some good stuff. I'm a lover of reggae. Could you talk a little bit about that song, Rise Up, and what led you to write that particular song?
Well, when I made the song, that was well, I had already 15 years of composition behind me, and it took me very long time to make it, even if it sounds very simple. But sometimes the most simple is the most difficult to make. And when I made it, I had already some ideas around from different remixes. Also, there was a remix of "Sun Is Shining" that was funk something. I don't remember the name, but that was one of the first house remix of Bob Marley, and I really liked it because it was really funky. It was cool. And the guy who made it, he really sent me like a kind of almost Caribbean funky house track, so with the melody and like a kind of almost a steel drum behind. So it was very inspiring to put really like the voice kind of differently on it, and was a kind of the dream in general is very important to me, because the dream is what makes us to advance on something. But a dream, we don't have to confuse a dream with a tent. It's not a tent. A dream is something, we don't have to put a timetable on it. If we put a timetable on it, then we want something. We don't wish something. And that makes the whole difference, because we get frustrated if it don't happen. And the dream never have frustration, in a way that you wish something and things will come. Life always gives, like people call it universe. I call it life, simply life, because life is what you give, it will come back always. And that's the same on both sides. If you harm, you will get the harm back. If you do good, the good will give back. But life have to be feeded with life itself. So the dream of that song was very important. To fly over the rainbow was a kind of image to fly higher than what you really can. You can't really fly up above the rainbow in that sense. But I discovered also myself I get trapped in a kind of illusion also. I have to say that, and I have to admit, like I told you before, when I was promoter of the New World Order, because I was so scared of that New World Order, I told a lot of bullshit to people that was not true, that was not really there. And when I discovered in 98 maybe, I discovered the Illuminati, and I was promoter of the Illuminati without them really existing, you know. So because Illuminati again it is an idea of some people who have it, but they really want that the people know it. So the best way to do it is to hide it, so people will to promote it. And that is exactly how the whole system, how the whole satanic system is working. It always works upside down. Everything is reversed. So it is very difficult to make, like you said in the beginning of the show, it's very difficult to discern the truth from the lies. But lies need construct. Truth don't need any construct. Truth is, you can experience the truth. And the most difficult part is to let go the lie. It's not really to see the truth, because the truth, everyone can see it. It's in front of our eyes. But it is blinded by so many ideas and thoughts that are not our own thoughts. So that's why we get blinded and not even see anymore with our own eyes. And that is the same.
It seems like when I first heard up, I was the inspiration from it is what I'm trying to do here on the show is to get humanity to rise up, to overcome perception, to overcome lies, matrix we're living, because what we're told is not. I mean, it's so vast. I mean, what reality is so vast. Really, what I got out of Rise, and I really soon, you talked a bit more about Illuminati, and I guess it seems to me like America are further behind what's going on in the world, because maybe deception here. What is it like in Europe? Can you share with me and my listeners what the awakening is in Switzerland, Europe right now? I mean, are they further ahead than we are here in America? Because it comes that way. Is that the case?
Well, I'm very radical. Maybe the ones who listen, maybe they hear already. When I say radical, it means radical comes from radic, Latin, and means roots. It is the roots. So a tree cannot stand without solid roots. That's why I'm calling myself very radical. So the best way to understand what is really going on in the whole world, we have to understand what the world really is. And the world itself doesn't exist really. I have a video on it. It's called "The World is a Lie." And just to simply explain, a world need a system, need programmation, need a code, need a character, need function, need a name, and need somebody who activates these codes. This is exactly the same in our world. We have a system, we have grammar, we have codes, words, rules, we have a persona, we have a function that we play, we have a name that we need to function in the system, and it needs us to activate this system. That is exactly the same how the world exists. The world is not the earth. And that was for me also what, when we talk about the flat earth or the ball earth or whatever, it is not the world. It's the same with all maps. We don't have a map of the earth, an official map of the earth. It doesn't exist. That means
Yes,
all maps are world maps, but the world doesn't exist. The world is the condition of the humans on earth. That is the condition. It doesn't exist, the world. Anytime we have a world government, we have world trade, we have, whenever you hear the word world, it is a lie, because it doesn't exist. It is the idea they want to have us to live under their condition on earth. This is the world. That is how you create the world for the people. And this needs a lot of lie, a lot of indoctrination, education, instruction, and everything what you want. But to experience the earth, you just have to go outside in the forest. It's as simple as that. So that is the whole difference. When we talk about the Illuminati, we have to talk about the whole, what is the system really? And how I was researching that over 30 years, my simple conclusion is everything starts by the pagans who start to observe the stars and the sun. They discover that between the 22nd and the 25th of December, the sun always makes the same pattern. It doesn't go down more or it doesn't go up more. So they was afraid that one day the sun will not rise again. That was their imagination. So they make a lot of rituals. Everyone is saying, but the pagans, they didn't have any religion. That is not true. You don't make religion if you don't have you don't have rituals if you don't have a religion. Both goes together. But to convince the people in their sun religion, they had to put someone behind the sun. They had to put God behind the sun. Because if you go to the people and say you have to worship the sun because the sun sometimes it will not go up, and they say like, are you stupid? I see every day the sun is going up. Why are you coming and telling me that the sun will not rise again? So that was the beginning of the system. And this went from pagan to Sumerian, Babylonian, Egypt, Greek, and Roman Empire. And we are today in the Roman Empire still, ruled by the Vatican, Jesuit, Templars, pharaohs, whatever you want to call them, Freemasons. It's all the same. It's all the same source. The system is as old as pyramids everywhere you can find them on Earth. Everywhere. This is not something from 100 or 200 years. Anyway, history, they added just 1,000 years to our 2,000 old history, because instead of the 1, there was a J before. And they thought the J was a 1. So they just added in the whole fucking history, they just added 1,000 years that didn't never exist. That is how you can change the whole history or the story of man in 3 generations. You tell them foolish stories over 3 generations, everyone is believing that. And this is how the system starts. Now, in present time today, if we observe America from here, I think America is very much advanced. And why? Because the Freemasons are took over way more than what the people can imagine. And the basic of Illuminati is coming from Les Illuminés. Well, they was French. They make witchcraft. They was alchemists. And if anyone knows a little bit something about alchemy, the biggest secret of alchemy is how to change a stone into gold. You agree with that?
Yeah, learn to go alchemy on as well. Yes.
Yeah. So I can reveal that secret because my grandfather was an alchemist. How they call it, a druid. That was like a magician, if you want. So I know the secret, and he wants me to keep that secret. If it is a secret, it is a lie. And the secret how to change a stone into gold is if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
Very
That's
very
all.
interesting stuff, Jaba. definitely.
That's it.
Illuminati, it seems. Yeah. I look at the world today, I often think that rats in a cage, and that the Illuminati, the satanic matrix, all the way back to Babylon, mystery, all the way back, we can go 4,000 years. They seem to be trying to disconnect God. Rats in a cage in this satanic matrix, trying to keep us from the knowledge of true selves.
What is going on is there's nothing more than man, traumatized man, who want to transmit their trauma to others. That is all what is going on. The whole religion is based on that fear that the sun sometime will not go up again. All rituals, all celebrations, all war, all everything, like how you was talking about 11th September, they are all sun worship, pure satanic rituals. And people sometimes they don't grasp when I talk about satanic. Satanic is not the opposer of God, because they say, yeah, but if you say that Satan is existing, what I don't say, then God also have to exist. No, Satan is the opposer of man. It's not the opposer of God. And again, most people, when they hear about Satan or about the devil, the evil reversed life. So it is against the life, everything what is dead. They worship the devil. That is, they worship. I don't worship anything. Not God. I'm not a believer, and I don't believe in evolution neither. Because people say, yeah, but if you don't believe in God, you have to believe in evolution. No, that is always the opposite. That is imposed by the system. Duality in itself doesn't exist. Darkness is absence of light. Illness is absence of health. Harm is absence of love. Harm is always created by man. In the nature, we don't have harm. People say, yeah, but they eat the animals, they kill animals. But they eat it 100%. They are not there just to kill others. Man do that. Traumatized man do that. And the whole society is based on that trauma, on that first trauma that the pagans had on the beginning to observe. And when the system entered, that was the fear. Fear is always an illusion. Fear doesn't exist. We can't go to fear and say, hey, fear, what are you doing? I'm fucking scared. No, fear is always an illusion of something we hear about, but we never had experience with it. Because if you had experience with the fear, you don't fear it anymore. It's as simple as that. It's like the dark room in the house that you never open and never turn on the lights. That is the dark room. You are scared of this dark room because you never was inside. Or you was inside without the light. Or somebody told you a funny story about it, but the dark room itself, the fear in the dark room doesn't exist. You never can meet the fear itself. So this fear is transmitted because you are scared of something. You will tell everyone who will come, but this room there is scary. And that is exactly how all fears are transmitted. I just ask the people to observe the leaders of the world. The biggest leaders are the most scared. They need the most protection of everyone. You know? So they are the most scared. They have the biggest trauma to transmit to others, but they think they do something good. Everybody think he do something good. Because you always find a justification in the system to say that what I'm doing is a justification. Yeah, but others doing worse. That's why I can do that. No, you never have compare worse, by the way. It is, you compare better if you want to compare, but not worse to excuse yourself to do stuff. And everything comes back to full self-responsibility. That is what we can face, because we can't be responsible for someone else. If not, we have to impose to someone else that you have to do something. And everything is based on free choice. But we have to tell the people that they are responsible of everything what they are thinking, what they are feeling, what they are saying, and what they are doing. That's why we have to get back, forget everything what we learned, reset everything, and we start to learn from the beginning. Not education, not information, not instruction. We need experience, pure experience. Show the tree to the child and he can experience the tree. That is how truth exists. I struggled over 30 years to be able to explain these things as simple as I can, but it's only, I had to accumulate intellect to explain to the intellectuals that intellect is not intelligence. They will never be able, what is their plan, to implant a robot and create artificial intelligence. That will never happen. Never. Because only something that is alive is intelligent, but not something that is dead. A robot is dead. And people are very fascinated by all this robotics. For myself, I was a fan of iPhone, Apple. I have a lot of computers, house. I know my trauma. I don't promote it anymore. I was promoter. I was promoter of Apple. I was promoter of New World Order. I was promoter of many things because I was scared of it, or I was so fascinated by it. But it was not my own thought. That was complete manipulated. It's the same with the music. I had to stop it because I knew what the people see from me was not me. And I could not reveal myself in that position. When I stopped in 2011, I made one article, a blog, on my own blog. I revealed everything about how you really have to do your music to get your music to the people. And I was like, in Switzerland, it's small, Switzerland is small, but I was one of the #1 artists from Switzerland internationally, not really in Switzerland, but outside of Switzerland. And when people realized that I stopped, and the reason why I stopped, they turned their back to me. So I had no media access anymore. I had no all the fans. Some even insulted me because I stopped playing music. Even I explained them exactly the reason why I stopped. And one of the main reasons was my children. I was traveling around. They saw me on TV like every Saturday, and they saw me fly by and so on. Even I was a daddy, very present. But to make more music, I had to be more absent. So for me, it was like no go. And when I told to my children that I will stop to make music, they was crying and say, yeah, why, and so on. I told them, look, do you want a daddy that is known worldwide, or do you want a daddy that is present in your life? You don't
have that's the way I am right now. You know, I really have stopped playing because my whole focus is on 2 months. I really like what you were saying, experience, and we differ a little on experience that I've had in my life, because I've experienced the depths of demonic possession, whether that was indoctrination or whether that's I came to believe. And I choose to believe in God because God told me how that experience with God. And He doesn't have to be called God. It can be called the creator of the universe, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I choose to call it God. He, where I can see what's going on in the world, and even things that you ring true with. That stuff is very cool. John, I got to take another break and I'll play another of your clips, and then I want to ask you what's going on in England and what knowledge you might have concern, what you see going there. So everybody, we got to hear absolutely fast conversation. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to the Awaken right here on Freedomizer Radio. I know you live in Switzerland, and by joining us live from Switzerland, what do you know about CERN, and what is your take on that?
Yeah, CERN is another occult ritual played in plain sight. Anyone who hear about the CERN and watch also the logo is already the 666. They always like to play with these numbers and spells. To maybe again to go a little bit more in the background of all this, Switzerland itself is the base, the back base of the Templars, and the base of all criminal organizations, international criminal organizations in the whole world. We have already started. It's not only the bank. I mean, a lot of people think there is a lot of bank and the freedom of secrecy of the bank, but the biggest bank in Switzerland is the BIS bank. It's the Bank of International Settlement. And every international transaction goes through this bank. This is not everything, because on this bank, all the strawman's accounts are located. So if you have a security number, you have an account there on this bank with billions of your labor work. Because I wish to explain that Switzerland is the first democracy. And to know what democracy really means, democracy, demo, is the city, and cracy is the monster. Is the monster in the city. Democracy means totalitarian fascist state. And if everyone have a doubt about it, you have to look at the symbol of fasces. Fasces. This is the symbol of the fascist, and it comes from the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire is not finished. We are today in the Roman Empire. And to go back to Switzerland, is they came from Egypt over Turkey into Switzerland and France. And the Illuminati, they ended exactly 13 years before the French Revolution. 13 years, 13, everyone who know a little bit about the Illuminati, 13 years later. And if you can watch it up, it is the first declaration of the human rights. It calls in French, Déclaration des droits de l'homme. And you put 1789. This is 13 years after the Illuminati was ended, like they said. But when they end something like that, they just go underground. It's the same for the Templars. They never disappear. They are in Switzerland today. Switzerland, the cross you have, is the Templars cross. If you increase a pyramid, you have the Templar cross. The Pope is the highest lawmaker in the world. He is the only one who has a fish ring, like the kings, to make a rule.
Especially about chemicals, what do you see on in Switzerland? I mean, here we are hammered on a basis with grid sky. We can have a perfect blue sky in the morning, in hours start hammering us with something, and then we have overcast, cloudy skies completely. You see this in Switzerland, and what on the chemtrail issue?
Yeah, definitely. We have a lot of. I wish something to say about chemtrails. Chemtrails is an invented word by the so-called truth movement. It is chemtrails doesn't exist. What exists, it is geoengineering. And as long as people will use the term chemtrail, they will confuse what they are explaining. So if we talk about geoengineering, we are in a completely different domain. And any engineer can talk about geoengineering. And this exists. You can find weathermodification.com. Anyone can check it out.
That's a great Jaba. Great point.
Yeah.
Go ahead, continue.
And this is very important, because as long as the people will talk about chemtrail, the people will not get it. So we have a lot of trails, but if something spread out of the plane, it doesn't mean it is chemical stuff. They sometimes, when they come back from flights and they have too much kerosene, they just blow it out. This is not the same. The most of the planes that we see on internet, so-called chemtrails, truth, revealed, proof, and so on, is not. We have to know that the most of these planes are military planes. It's called cloud seeding. This is a term you can find on internet. It's something that is engineered. They know exactly what they are doing, and they talk about it, but they never talk about chemtrails. Never. So if the people want to
points.
Say it again.
Yeah, those are great points, and I have a tendency to agree with you, because chemtrails, that whole, I'm somebody who's an activist against chemtrails, but it really becomes geoengineering, and I'm going to be having hopefully Max on the show soon, who's Paris, and we're going to do engineering. And I think chemtrails certainly come up almost as disinfo within this movement. People look like they're wearing hats. So, I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm totally in agreement with you on what do you think of engineering and what they're trying to do.
Well, also I was hearing in the break about how to end the new world order, and I think that is a very good subject to talk about, because what can we really do? And the thing is, the question would more be, what are we ready to know, not do anymore? That is the big question. It is like who we are willing to stop supporting, and this means the politician, the banker, all ideas that are coming from the system. And to talk about the system, we have to define what the system really is, because the system itself doesn't exist. Did anyone meet the system one day and had a chat with the system? No. So the system is an idea. Everyone hopefully agree with that. And this idea is represented again. Like we was talking in the beginning of the show, the system can never be present. We have agents from the system, we have ideas from the system, we have rules from the system, and so on. But what is the system really? To define it, it is 1, 2, 3. It is ABC. It is square and compass, Freemason. It is everything that has a symbol. It is everything that has a name. It is everything that is astrology, astronomy, esoteric, science, physics, all written language, everything. Everything that has no sense. Nothing. We can go to a tree, we can visit a tree, but can we visit science? Can we visit physics? We always need kind of these specialists or professors, or I don't know what, to represent physics, science, astronomy, astrology. We need books, we need a computer to represent all these things, but we never can go there. This is the same with the whole space. We need light years to go there. So yeah, from the beginning, we know that we were never ready to go there, because we would never live enough long to visit there, right? So they put everything so far away. And this is the same for everything that is micro and macro. Telescope, microscope, everything. Everything that is represented can be faked. The thing is, if you have like a simple telescope and you watch the stars and so on, a telescope is already made by something that is round. It is made in a form that when you look through enough far, everything is a ball, right? But you can't see if it is a ball. You can see that it is round, but to see if something is a ball, you would need have 3D eyes. It's not because we see that the sun is round or the moon is round that it have to be a ball. That is a complete illusion. And we can't see it with our own eyes if something is round from far. It is impossible. You can see it is a disk, and they call it sun disk in the time. Wasn't it a ball? The same with the Earth. We never saw the Earth as a ball, right? Only on pictures.
Talk about as being, I speaks of it as being of the Earth. We're touching on what I actually did a couple of shows with Mark and John Morgile here recently talking about flat, and talking about with science almost seems to be a religion. If you look in a opposing way to what we God religion, but science certainly presents itself as a religion. So we're running out of time. About 10 minutes left, Jaba. Sure, I think you're a flat earther, and I'm curious as to what your take is on what is going on here and how this flat. Tell us a little bit about your comfort.
Well, I think I cannot say that I'm like a flat earther, but what I'm really concerned about is, why does the people think it is a ball? That is my main question. And like you said, science became the new religion. And I just want to go back a little bit on what you were saying before, because of God, or how you want to call it. That is the different part, and that people also have to understand that if a word is this part of the system, the ones who create the word, they also create the idea behind the word. So if we accept a word or trust in a word, we also accept the concept of the word. Now, I will explain what, for the ones who create the word God, really God means. God means the amor Dei. That is, amor Dei is in Latin, means the love of God, would be translated in English. But amor, if we turn back amor, we come to Roma. And amor is the love, and the contrary of love would be hate. We are in the Roman Empire. We are in the hate empire. And amor Dei in the Roman law means that you don't have only to accept God, but you also have to accept the ruler of Rome and the rules from the leaders of Rome. That is in the concept of amor Dei, that is Latin, who the ones who create the idea of God created. And to believe in God, as you say, you could use another word. I would say I would use life. Because life you can experience every day. And it is something that we not really can stop as long as we are alive, right? So for me, life is something that is keeping on. But the problem with God is it's not only the idea that we like to have from God, it is the whole concept from the one who created God. And this is the huge problem, because we have a constitution that is dedicated to God, but who write it really? Is it really for us? What does it really mean? Each word that is written there, because if someone makes a contract, you need like a dictionary on the side of it for each word that is used in the contract. If this dictionary is not available, it's like free interpretation. So the one who creates the contract, he knows what he means. So he can mean anything. He can say, he write, I love you, and behind he said that I hate you. I say, I will do that for you, but you will do that for me. And you don't know it when you sign a contract. When you sign a contract, then you sign your nature with a signature. And the paper never have value without a signature. And any signature that we put on a paper ends on the stock market. because between a paper and the value paper is a signature, is a nature, is an energy of someone who engage in the system who is behind. And that is all what is going on. Flat Earth or ball Earth, question why you think it is really a ball, because we never see it with our own eyes. And nothing that the science is producing, nothing that the system is producing, astrology or something like that, we can really have a direct experience with it. And that is the whole problem. I call it sense. If it's not sense, it is nonsense.
It's interesting. You said in one of your videos that I really want to, that every truth expects 1,000 lies. See, hear, and are told to believe these days. And I like what you say about God. I mean, for me, that God is in my life. I have, it could be life, it could be the creator, it could be the universe. There's something there, a power in myself that kept me down the demonic avenue, because otherwise I would have ended up dead. Jaba, I want to thank you so much for being on the show and as your perspective, Lind.
Oh,
I'd love to have you on the show again.
It is really a pleasure to be on your show, and yeah, I have to say you're really courageous to inviting me. Thank you so much.
Well, that's what journalists look at, all sides of the topic, and I try to put everybody together to where, hey, we are in position of the devil. So I liked that you said about this evil and lie, and it is life versus death. And I think that's all that we are at the present in history, and hope humanity rise above it. Jaba, thank you for joining me. Play one of your songs on my album. So I'd love to have you back sometime in the future.
Okay,
all right, you take care.
Bye-bye
now.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
No one can look so far. No one can pretend the future. Still no one step from us. No one can bend the